It's do or die for many sides as we enter the final month of the home and away season. Today it's 4th-seeded Nar Nar Goon who will host the 5th-placed Warragul Industrials. Stakes are large and wins are crucial, but only one side will be victorious. Welcome to the Fairhaven Homes match of the round, proudly supported by Totally Workwear Gippsland, with a fresh store opened in Pakenham. Bailey Allen on hand, Harrison Carbs, brilliant as always on the camera duties. Which side of the seesaw is this game swinging, Baz?
Oh boy, it's going to be, well, I hope it's a really close one today. That's what most people would be thinking. Nar Nar Goon sit 4th with 40 points, and Warragul Industrials sit 5th with 36 points. So if Warragul to get a big win today, they might even overtake Nar Nar Goon. But at home, conditions are looking alright. You'd like to go Nar Nar Goon, but just based off the entirety of the season. But the Dusties, the past couple of weeks, they have been very good, been one of the most informed teams in the comp, Warragul. So I'll probably just go Nar Nar Goon, but it could really go either way.
And if we travel back to the last time these two sides played, it was round 7. Nar Nar Goon defeated the Dusties 91-69. They had 7 more scoring shots, but interestingly enough, at three-quarter time, it was actually Warragul who led this 66-53. And then in the final term, it was 6-2 to the 3 behind. So we know that the Dusties are extremely capable. They just need to preserve the lead in the final quarter. And if you can see, well, you will see in a moment, they have the pink jerseys today, Nar Nar Goon. And of course, it's to celebrate Women's Day, mental health awareness, and breast cancer awareness. So a wonderful initiative. And just going back to that last meeting, Ablett kicked 3 for Warragul, and Dermot Yorney for Nar Nar Goon kicked 6 goals, and he was amongst the best players. Trent Armour, Eamon Trigg, and Jeconiah Penny headlined them.
Yeah, well, Dermot Yorney, I'm not sure how many goals he kicked last week, but in the game we commentated down at Inverloch, it was Stuart Scanlon who took top place in the goal kicking leaderboard. So Yorney, considering how he went last week, we might get Dill to check up on that. Dermot Yorney could actually retake his number 1 position as leading goal scorer. But I think for Warragul today, they've just got to keep a consistent 4 quarters. You mentioned before when they were leading at three-quarter time last time these sides played, and when we were commentating Warragul last time down at Traralgon for our Fairhaven Homes match of the rounds, they did have the lead at some points, and then they've just fallen away at times. And I found during that Traralgon game that they played a bit of a boring brand of footy in comparison to the Cobras. But no, they've beaten Phillip Islands, they've beaten Garfield and Dalston 3 games in a row, and they're really informed. So I'm excited to see whether they're going to play some quick-moving footy through Mason McGarity, or they might just go back to that slow tempo.
And Dermot Yorney actually didn't play last week, so Scanlon, as it is, will be leading the goal-kicking race.
Who did Traralgon play today?
They'll be down at... We'll check up around the grounds for you in a moment, but who will be... We speak about the sparks for each team every week, and who will they be on, do you think? Who's the focus on for Nar Nar Goon, the likes of Yorney, or even a small forward, and will it be McGarity for the Dusties?
Well, for Nar Nar Goon, I'm looking at the live wire and JJ Penny. The last time we commentated Nar Nar Goon down at Bunyip, he was lively, wasn't he? He was just tackling everyone in his sights, played a really good game. I think he got in my votes on the post-game show as well, did JJ Penny. And yeah, as for the Dusties, you can't really go past Mason McGarity, can you? He's had such a good season. He's kicked 45 goals, I think it was, in 14 games. So he's just been simply brilliant this year. Played for Gippy Power in 2018 and 2019. He's been at the club since 2015.
And this clash will be the closest on the ladder. Traralgon will take on Garfield as they hope to enter the top 5. Of course, if Warragul do lose and Traralgon win, then they will be equal in points. Daleston will host Phillip Island, who... they actually lost to Warragul Phillip Island a couple of weeks ago, surprisingly. Major upset, and it helped Warragul Industrials' case for the finals. Phillip Island at 12-2, along with their loss against Traralgon Dalmore. Kilcunda will host Inverloch Congwack. Cooey Rupp will host Corumburra Bina, and Traralgon will host Bunyip.
Oh, well, Stuart Scanlon and Turridan versus Bunyip, you'd like to think from a Seagulls perspective that they'd get that done. But even Scanlon last week, it was a little bit quiet to start off. And then he sort of came into his own in that second half. But it's a really tight race between Stewie Scanlon and Dermot Yorney coming into the last month of footy before finals.
And it looks as if this game will actually start before it's expected to. 2 o'clock is the written time. It's 1:55 now, and both sides already moving to their positions. As we can see for Nar Nar Goon just heading to the bench now, starting on the bench.
Who have you got today, Dill?
Well, we always hope for a close game, don't we? We love to call them, and to be honest, you can't really split these sides at the moment. The way the form has been for the Dusties, they've won 3 in a row, and Nar Nar Goon, well, they did take a hit last week, and they will be looking to rebound. It's a very enthralling clash. It should be. And just going back to that, so we have a couple of outs, importantly for Warragul. Kyle Beveridge, he will say this precariously, he did his shoulder last week. That's what I've heard. Anthony Brun, a major piece of their team, is out, and Mark Bradley is also out. Corey Macari, who played well against Coralyn. As we're almost underway, Bailey Allen to get you started on the Saturday afternoon.
So muddy conditions, so the umpire will go with a ball up instead of a bounce. Just early stoppage to start off. We'll have another ball up directly where it was just moments ago. So in the ruck is Braden Hefford for Warragul. Taps along the grounds. He's pressured by some pink jerseys though. The umpire calls mine again, so two stoppages to start off quick.
You will notice a few number changes with these pink jerseys.
Of course, as they're introducing those for breast cancer awareness, Nar Nar Goon, and a win in the pink is so vital for them today. They haven't really been able to defeat any of the contenders, so to take out Warragul Industrials would be huge. So moving across half back, trying to get a kick on it. Goes further inside 50. That's a good tackle laid. Penny lurking, trying to lay a tackle. So they kick it out onto the wing, and then this is going to be trouble. And what a bump there by Todd Beck. And then they just controlled a little bit through Matthew Herbert. Now they're going through the middle. So Gibson kicks it forward to no one's advantage. Will Mark be paid? It will. So that's a nice grab there from James Can. And I was just saying before the Todd Beck bump here that it's going to be hard to play on this, on the broadcast side of the wing here because of how muddy it is. So I reckon the players will try to go out more to the left, Dill.
Into the corridor now. Lovely mark taken by Matthew Homfray, who was injured the last time we called him. Good to see he's back up on his feet. That kick was slightly deflected. It had to bounce obligingly for the hands of Herman, who had to make do. He lays a strong tackle along with Noy, and they wrap him up successfully. We'll have a ball up just near the centre circle a couple of minutes in. No team yet to score. 4th versus 5th, Saturday afternoon. Lovely conditions at the moment. Hand pass out, and then that kick lodged forward for Nar Nar Goon. Yorney was pleading his case for Harold and just plotting a trackway out of defence, but stopped in an instant. It was Nick Visser.
Yorney was angry then. He sent his man completely into the dirt.
35 out from the Dusties' goal. Big knuckle forward by Noy. A one-on-one, right on the edge of it. And it's kicked off the ground, through for a goal, the first of the day by Matthew Homfray.
That was a bit of a chaotic sequence there, but a goal is a goal at the end of the day. It wasn't much Warragul did, just perhaps not running hard enough. But Nar Nar Goon hit the scoreboard first, so they now lead by 6. First major today at Saturday afternoon footy. But it just feels like both sides feeling each other out at the moment. No one, I know we did just have a goal, but no one's really got a strong amount of momentum at the moment.
No, it was an unexpected goal.
It certainly was. So going through the pack was a Nar Nar Goon player. It picks it up. Down with the left. Finds Yorney. That's a great kick. And an even better lead. Hits him right on the chest. To go down by 12 early on is not what Warragul needs. And I remember in Coral in round 11, they probably would have had a better chance to actually beat the Cobras if they had a much better start. But they're renowned for being slow in the first quarters. So here's Yorny. Didn't play last week. That's looking pretty good. Straight through. A lovely set shots. And Nar Nar Goon almost immediately score again. Dermot Yorny has his first major of the day, Dill.
2 straight 12. And the Dusties yet to score. Nearly 4.5 minutes into this first quarter. But I believe it's been an even contest in the first few minutes. But Homfray kicked that goal and Yorny replies as well with another. Nar Nar Goon in the blink of an eye are up 12-0. They thread the hand passes through. Gibson out to the wing. Obstructed in the field of play was DeSando. He just edges it forward. And heading back the other way was Hughes. He was stopped in his tracks. Snaffled off of him. Now right to the goal mouth. Just comes up skinny. And they're first behind on their first score of the day for the Dusties. They trail it by 11 as out of the back line. Just quickly moving it on. Now to the wing, a 2-on-2. And now the numbers begin to multiply around the footy. Penny slapping it back to a teammate whose kick was smothered. It was brilliant defensive work. And now he just lies on top of the football. Centre wing in front of all the Nar Nar Goon fans. And now in the ruck. Crumb opportunity for Penny. On the left, gave a hand pass out, and how will the umpire see this one? He says it's a throw in.
So, Nar Nar Goon led by 11. Early days in this first term. Nar Nar Goon, not a really big crowd today. Like to see a little bit bigger for such a close game. So, Yorny pushed his man out to his advantage. Now running in front. It's a nice look again. Runs onto it was Cooper Purcell. And Nar Nar Goon are off to the quickest of starts. 18-1. As Purcell goals. And wow, the Warragul Dusties are really in trouble at the moment.
And you could just hear on the bench the Warragul Industrials players and coaches telling them to lift.
That was Sam Russell there, if you heard him. He was not happy from the bench.
Well, last week they kicked 6 goals to 1 in the first quarter, and now they've already had 3 against them in the opening 6-7 minutes. Another scrum, and now Warragul have their chance. It trickles along the ground to centre half forward, and it's taken up by Mockett right to full forward. And an inexplicable drop in the end, really, by Cairns. It's still alive. Cairns had to make amends, and he did. Kicks across the back line, and now they can expedite movement. They do. To the wing. Homfray has room to manoeuvre. Just out in front of another Homfray, this time of the Matthew variety, to the half-forward flank. It's a stray, and it's out on the full. And the Dusties will take it from left half back. Happy to concede some ground. Herbert, the number 58 today, or 48 in his last outing. Commodore, who played in the seconds for 2 to 3 weeks. He's back in the side, and now again relocating. Herbert. Not a lot of movement ahead of the footy. So he just tantalised the man on the mark and then swept on the right just over the head of the Nar Nar Goon player Jake Smith. It springs around. It's all wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up about 60 out from Nar Nar Goon's goal. 18-1. Now ticking on 8 minutes in the first quarter. A back tap. And the Dusties, they did have a chance. It quickly evaporated. Nar Nar Goon inside 50 this time. McGillivray holding his own in the back line. Has a couple of outlets. They have to communicate here because there's Nar Nar Goon players just chasing them as hard as they can. Debenham floats one in the air. Was able to find DeSando. Right half back. Now they all swarm towards the wing. He's a little unsure where to go. He delayed the give and now kicks it up to the wing where the numbers are with the Dusties. It was beaten up in the air. Gibson able to track it down and navigate through traffic. Over the top for Staples. McGarity, that kick just trickles forward. Another hand pass and Hefford now had a chance. Tackled, socket out of the air. Plenty of altitude in it from Brewster. Might fall in the lap of the Nar Nar Goon defence, who lodge it out, and now the Dusties are able to return through Mockett.
So return inside 50, looking to lock it in on this occasion. We'll go over the boundary line, and we'll have one right next to goals. Warragul have been a lot better in the past couple minutes. Nar Nar Goon having to work a bit more, which is what you want. So that is a really high throw and impressive from the boundary umpire. And they exit again once Nar Nar Goon. So Mark on the wing. They decide to centre it. Can't cleanly pick it up. He's going to have to come off it. Was nearly bumped off the ball. In fact, he was. Look at all the chevrons around the ball. Nar Nar Goon perhaps wasn't working hard enough for it in the end. Really muddy on this side of the wing. So nearly slips over was McGiveray. Oh, sorry, it was Todd Beck. He then chips it over to Mockett. Originally from Seaford, and that should be pushing the back. But umpire calls play on, ignores it, spills out. Nar Nar Goon have it again and look to move. So out onto the wing. It was a nice contest there. It was punched over the line by a Dusty.
Yep. Their intensity is raised over 10 minutes in the first quarter on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Of course, the new shop has just opened in the last month. Be sure to check it out. Existing stores already. Traralgon, Wonthaggi. Saturday afternoon footy, 4th versus 5th. Nar Nar Goon off to a hot start, a shallow throw in, and just restrained illegally in the end. For Nar Nar Goon was Bradley Homfrey. And now he'll run off his line, send it to left half forward. Mark almost taken, obstructing the field of play and then clutching his shoulder while being brought down in savage tackle.
Sorry, Dill, some really questioning umpiring. That was pushing the back out there on that lead, and that was definitely high. We had a perfect view.
In the end, it's a ball up, and it'll be the Dusties' free kick. Hefford. That's support to his right. And he signals to the wing where they all congregate. Flying in the air. The numbers in the air were with Nar Nar Goon, and now making his way out. Able to hand it off to Blackwood, who was tackled and released the hand pass just ahead of Homfrey, who taps it on further afield for Noy. Whistle's been blown. And it'll be Nar Nar Goon's free kick. Matthew Homfrey kicked the first goal of the game. Has a man on short in Bradley Homfrey. Does he have the distance? Seems pretty confident about it. Second year with Nar Nar Goon. Bradley Homfrey played 5 with Narry North Foxes, 2 with Narry Warren, 4 with Beaconsfield. And he's just fitting in nicely with the squad. He's played extremely well this year. Good looking kick. It'll just sit at the top of the square. There is Matthew Homfrey, able to keep it in. And now the Dusties, they steal it away. Penny just approaching the man who had the ball. He's still loitering his Penny. His teammate had a flying shot at goal. And just missed to the near side for their first behind of the day. 3-1-19 to the one single behind. Nearly 13 minutes in on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
So Walker for the Dusties. He played for Cooey Rupp in 2018 and 2019. Kicks it off to the left. I know the Dusties, they love to play this slow tempo footy, but centers the kick there, and now they're in trouble here. There's a couple pink jerseys chasing after them. They were able to escape effectively though. So Debenham out over to the wing, finds a suitor in Ablett, who then finds DeSando. Chips it across. Ogden. So the slow tempo footy was working before. It was read nicely by a Gooner. So now they can just settle down, back over to the wing. Marked by Noy. Then kicks to a contest, and that's a great grab there. Strong mark taken. Now inside 50, and Dermot Yorney took a good mark, but the free kick is paid here and will go in the way of Nar Nar Goon. So Dermot Yorney is having a nice day to start out, and Nick Visser really got to pick up the slack here. I know Dermot Yorney is arguably the best key forward in the comp, but he's just been running everywhere in his first game back. Of course, missed last week. So Yorney looks to be about 45 or so out. Not a bad look at all, but will just fade off to the right. And it's been impressive from Nar Nar Goon how quickly they've been able to move from coast to coast, whereas Warragul really struggling to enter inside 50. The Nar Nar Goon defence has stood tall. So kicks it across. Now out to the wing to Debenham, and he's got a couple of possessions. Decides to go on a run. Dermot Yorney pleading to the umpire that he ran a bit too far. Won't get it in the end. So now a couple handballs. Kicks it out. Oh, should have marked that, but didn't in the end. It was Homfreight. So now Visser, who we were just talking about before, slows it down and finds Debenham again, who's had a great first quarter.
Debenham just analysing the situation ahead, and his previous kick was to a 3-on-1 with Nar Nar Goon favouring. Instead, he measures this one over the top to Gibson. Again, just a little pot kick for a teammate. A nice methodical approach this time. They do have to hold it to Sando. Pinpoint ball in the end. Now centering it. Penny able to cut it off. It was a little bit of a lethargic kick. We know how dangerous Penny can be. He's given that every bit of 50. Visser enters the scene. Takes the mark. Has numbers out wide. The runner just had to evade. He almost ran into the man taking the ball. Lace out and taken high. Now it's the Dusty's chance. They're about 50 out. He'll have to kick from 55. Instead, he hands it off. Some swift footwork. Receiving it back and centering it. And there's a mark. Need to hit the scoreboard. Todd Beck, alongside his brother Bailey. They wear the numbers 4 and 5. But definitely an experienced player. He's played for the Gippsland Power in the NAB League. 163 goals in his first 75 games. He has a lethal right boot. It might just be off this time. It is, but the mark is taken. All according to his plan, and Travis Ogden, he'll have a shot. 4 goals last week for Travis Ogden in their 93-point win against Daleston. And now he'll go with the snap. He's out at Nar Nar Goon, just trying to give his team a lift. Can't that time, it's a minor score.
Heard he's very good at golf, Travis Ogden.
There you go.
Yeah, just saw a couple of Facebook posts about him. Apparently he's a golfing star. He's Travis Ogden, but didn't complete the set shot and went through for a minor score. So
not too bad at golf yourself, Bailey?
Oh, mate, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I've gone to driving ranges and I cannot hit a golf ball to save my life. But nonetheless, kicks out to the wing. No clean mark taken, but Nar Nar Goon end up with the Sharon, and now they can move cleanly. That was quite precise with their hands, but it was an even better smother from a Dusty. So now they're just slipping and sliding in the mud. Goes to grounds, and umpire says my ball is McDermott. It's on top of the footy. So this is out on the dreaded part of this ground. Really muddy terrain, high. Decide to play on, or umpire says, nah, not quite, mate. We'll call that one back. So plays on. Interesting looking kick there. Didn't really got onto the foot at all. But the Dusties will eat that up every day of the week. Umpire won't take a call for deliberate, as Herbert took it over the line in that case. Debenham, he's around the contest. He's probably got my 3 votes to start off today. He's been very good off half back.
Nearly 19 minutes in on the Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. 3 goals down, Bailey. Yet to kick a major for Warragul. What are they doing wrong?
They're just playing too slow. Nar Nar Goon are reading everything because of the pace. As here we go, fast moving again. Yorny picks up with one hand, tackled, should be holding the ball, won't be. So now the Dusties can calm themselves down, but look at Penny. Oh, couldn't get there in the end, unfortunately. So Beck will collect it off half back, kicks it down the wing to DeSando. Continues to go down the line. Just methodical football here the Dusties are playing. Nar Nar Goon seem to be in attack mode constantly, always looking for open passageways. But yeah, I reckon that's their problem. Warragul, they're not playing quick enough. They're too predictable. So Ogden marks it a half forward. Directs his teammates to go back. So another inside 50 entry. No one marks it. Could turn around and snap it around the body here if they get an open opportunity. They won't. This Nar Nar Goon defense has been toxic to start off. Collects it with one hand. That was a little impressive. Now goes on a run. Takes 2 bounces. Does he want to take another one? Oh, shrugs off a man. How's that? Penny wasn't quick enough to get to it. Handball was questionable. We'll go to grounds. Umpire says mine.
And now the rain a factor. And goals are at a premium for Warragul. There wasn't many leads in that last entry, and that might be what is shutting them down at the moment. A little stagnant as Nar Nar Goon, Homfray off the ground, in danger.
Yeah, I reckon it's just Warragul versus Warragul at the moment. Like I said, the choices they're making are too safe and too easy to read, so Nar Nar Goon are just quickly intercepting it.
And they're capitalising on turnovers as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. Great point.
Todd Beck, happy to activate Smith through the centre. On the left, winds up, gives it plenty, almost rising to take the mark, and then he was barreled into, stays alive, not for long. But 3 goals down, and you feel that Nar Nar Goon, every time they're venturing forward, they're going to kick a goal. So it's not the worst result for the Dusties.
Yeah, well, even in the Coralline game, Warragul had a terrible start, but they can definitely get back in this quickly.
Hold that thought for a moment, Baz, as now the Dusties are alive. McGarrity, he's in the mix. Nar Nar Goon able to shut it down and exit out of their 50. Strong mark. Now the numbers begin to flow forward, a multitude of players at the half-forward line. If they can just collect it cleanly, they do. He's been corralled on the mark. He gets the kick away. And now times are dangerous for the Dusties. Purcell slipped over, and it allowed Visser to escape with the footy. Debenham into the centre. Definitely a hazardous kick. Sliding into the ground, Staples on the wing. And now he's opposite number Smith. Secures it. Hughes out to the wing, a 3-on-1. Some protection offered, but DeSando, he was reluctant to give up, and as a result, he was able to turn the footy over into their hands. And then Parker stripped his opponents. Beck, he did well enough, and now they chain up the handballs. A high up and under. Nice spoil at the back. Remains ajar. Finally, Parker attempting to carve his way through. Was unable to. Gibson up the wing. And this time it's Cairns. Into the middle again. The corridor is the way to go for scoring today. For Nar Nar Goon. Kelly wearing the number 52 today. That kick will be chopped off by Debenham, who's playing a more defensive role today.
Yeah, he's been great off half back though. And he's been getting a lot of the footy as well. So he's playing sort of that Scott Pendlebury role, you'd say.
At half back. Now the Dusties. They look inboard. Penny on the mark, pressuring. Backwards hand pass, and he just gives the footy everything that he humanly had. Again through the middle, it bobbles around. Nar Nar Goon able to gather it under their control. Only momentarily, they cough it up. The hands of Armour now outside and now through the centre for Humphrey. Rather Ogden inside 50 to the teeth of goal. Beaten up Penny with agility on display on the left. Had to be precise with the kick and he was. And now Nar Nar Goon out to the wing. Humphrey with two to contend with. One of the most significant was Debenham, who's played a strong role early on. He slipped, but it didn't affect the kick.
Debenham has been coming off the siren there, but I was just going to say Debenham has probably been the only reason why Warragul are a bit closer in this. He's prevented a lot of goals, has stood down there at half back and has intercepted a couple kicks from Nar Nar Goon and dished it off to teammates, but he needs the rest of his team to lift still.
A shorter quarter, just 24 minutes and 15 seconds. 3 goals were kicked, and it's the Dusties who are down early. Nar Nar Goon are too strong. It was Cooper Purcell on the board, but Matthew Humphrey kicked the first of the day. Dermot Yorney with a strong ball from about 45 out on a set shot, and then Purcell kicked their third. It's 3-2-20 to 2 behinds at quarter time. We'll take a quick break. Nar Nar Goon by 18. How will the Dusties respond?
Building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
story of a community. A community that likes to work hard. Digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down.
1 quarter down. It is Nar Nar Goon who lead this one at home, 20-2. 3 goals kicked, one by Mitchell Homfray early off the ground, and then Dermot Yorney followed it up with a set shot, and Cooper Purcell able to snag one. It's the Dusties ball movement which has been our question, but the slow approach, it should work. They've been able to find numbers out on the wing, and now it's just their forward line who needs to offer the leads. But Nar Nar Goon's defence has held up. Bailey Allen, 20-2, 18 points down, not the worst result. The rain's starting to kick in. It's the Dusties' turn to respond. How can they?
Just getting cleaner looks when entering inside 50. I noticed the midfielders, when entering inside forward 50, they don't really... I mean, it's a bit of the forwards as well. They're not leading towards the ball at all. But the midfielders look really rushed, and that's thanks to Nar Nar Goon's pressure as well. But they look very rushed entering inside 50, and it allows the backmen of Nar Nar Goon to just eat the footy up all day, and then they go completely polar opposite to Warragul's tempo. They move the ball, well, at least today, they've been moving the ball really fast through the corridor and on the wing as well. So, yeah, if you're Warragul, you just got to have a bit more composure going inside 50, and the forwards need to start leading out more instead of going continuously towards the packs near defenders.
Just need to inject those live wire players. McGarity in the game. Ogden had a snap, missed it. It was a gettable shot. It would have given them their first, but they've had the opportunities, and the times that they have actually successfully led towards the footy, their attacks have been coherent. It's just the attacks where they kick the ball in long and deep, hoping for a mark, which usually is the system for many other sides. We're not just blatantly pointing out Warragul, but today the defence by Nar Nar Goon is extremely intoxicating, as Bailey mentioned in that first quarter.
Well, if you want a comparison, an AFL comparison, maybe not the past 4 weeks, but the way Warragul are playing with their forward line is the way Essendon have been playing. Well, we're playing. They just kick it a Peter right and have a bit of hope. But you can't just go to one man. And the inside 50 entries were terrible from Essendon at the start of the year, but they've improved on that to their credit in the past 4 weeks. But yeah, that's sort of Warragul's problem at the moment, just hoping. But this Nar Nar Goon defence has been far too good for that.
And it's an intimidating forward line. McGarity, Ogden, Mockett, Staples, Brewster, who's definitely one of their best, and Luke Smith.
And that's without Corey Macari as well.
Exactly right. Anthony Brun as well, out today. Almost ready to go for the second quarter. And we'll have an around the ground score check in a moment. See how the other top sides are faring. Most importantly, Coralyn need to win, and they're relying on a Dusty's loss today. There's the siren. The second quarter underway. Up in the ruck. Nar Nar Goon may have had a bigger piece of it, and immediately out of the middle. Just a scrambled ball forward. A one-on-one. Every ounce of energy put into it. Kicked across the deck by McGillivray, who always plays that strong half-back to full-back role. And he did well enough there to force it out of bounds. So, and just to keep you updated, Coralyn 52-3.
52-3
against Garfield.
Oh, ouch. Well, Warragul is a win today. It's now or never if they want to make finals. So big floating kick going inside 50. No one could mark it in the ends, but go some hands. That's our second soccer kick we've seen out of the air today. How unlikely is that? McGarity hasn't got a lot of the footy, been really quiet. Enters inside 50, or maybe looking for goal. Will it bounce through? Oh, it just slides over the line. The hearts were stopping down here at Nar Nar Goon, but Flynn Parker went on a foot race against the Sharon and just went over the line and crushed Warragul's hopes of getting their first major.
They're the acts you admire, don't you?
Yeah, Flynn Parker, that was great defensive work. It was 3 versus 1 in that contest. Here is the Warragul side we were talking about today. We know they can come back quickly, but their starts are a bit slow. Umpire blows the whistle.
That probably would have been a goal as well. But
yeah, it was Luke Smith who played 2 TAC Cups with the Stingrays in 2010. He also spent a lot of time in the MPNFL with Seaford and Hastings. But he's got a free kick paid against him there. So down through the wing, McGarity, or sorry, it was McGivellerate, pushed his man out. And another inside 50, lock it in, Smith. Almost a good lead from the small forward, trying to get a clean disposal here in the mud. Ball spills out, umpire holding the man, and it goes in the way of the Dusties. So a great opportunity to get another look on goal. And it will be Ogden who takes this set shot. Had one previously where it was a snap around the body. Just lines it up about maybe 47 out. That's a nice look. Goes to the right though. And once again, the Dusties do not score a goal. Dill.
well, whatever was said at quarter time seems to be working though.
Yeah, they're moving a lot quicker, and with some unpredictableness. It's not even a word, but yeah, I'm much liking this game a lot more now for Warragul.
From full back, Blackwood takes a bounce. Not the normal bounce, but still a bounce as Penny entering the frame, exiting with the football. Had a teammate riding shotgun. And now to the wing. Overhead mark is taken into the path of Hughes to half forward. And another mark taken. Dermot Yorney.
Yorney completely controlled Visser there. I reckon Visser was on the ground about 15 metres behind Yorney.
As we mentioned, he's definitely up there with the likes of Mason McGarity, Jason Wells, Stuart Scanlon for leading the goal kick accounts. And this would just bruise all the morality of Warragul, who have attacked early from 50 outs, straight through the middle. Highly respected footballer Dermot Yorney, and he kicks his second of the day.
What a beautiful kick off the boot. That was as clean as you'll get. Nicely done, Dermot Yorney.
Against the flow of play early in the second quarter, which sounds a little odd because they are up by 22 points. 4.5 minutes in the second quarter on the totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. And now the Dusties desperately need a goal. The pace was severe by the Nar Nar Goon midfielders. The hand passes are worked by the Dusties, tapping onto himself, Beck. And another teammate again nearby, but great tackle by Homfrey. Noy out to the wing. Smith just trying to feed it across the ground, and he did successfully. Another attack coming up for Nar Nar Goon to no avail that time. Another chance revealing. Flushing it out of there. The defence. Beck was nearby. Instead, his teammate with the long sleeves able to find Mockett in the middle, and he continues to run. Wanted to receive the hand pass, but he didn't. Matthew Herbert. Now he gets the kick. As numbers streaming forward. McGarity heads to the square. He'll have to deal with 2. Unable to latch on. He'll still press in defence as they'll rinse it away. Out to the wing, Smith. Penny with 3 all over him, still held Smith. Back to Beck, who miscued the hand pass. Penny waiting to receive this one, and now he ducks back in. Beck almost there to intervene. But a free kick going the way of the Dusties.
That's unlucky for Penny. Had about 3 different efforts there and didn't get it.
Smith looking to see which option's the most viable. Mockett was, only for a moment. Herman taking the mark. And they can bombard the defence again. Through the middle. Kick a little indiscriminate in the end. And the Dusties hold up. Almost hand pass to himself there. Gibson wasn't aware. Noy back inside. Now to the flank. Hovering through the air, needing someone to be camped underneath. And they were. It was Dermot Yorney.
How was Yorney getting this much space? Just continuously left open. You cannot be doing this when your season's on the line. Especially the way Coral Inn are going. You mentioned before, Garfield's only kicked 3 points, so Warragul really need to get a hurry on.
Dermot Yorney to give them a 28-point lead. Such a compelling player. One of their highly regarded players. One of the best forwards in the league. Showing you why today. He's kicked 3 straight.
3 goals in not even a half of footy for Dermot Yorney. This could get awfully ugly. And, yeah, Nar Nar Goon have had the perfect response. Warragul were coming out the gates, guns blazing in the first maybe 5 minutes or so, but since then, just no, nothing.
5-2-32 to 4 behinds on your totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
So, does a little U-turn in the centre, tries to find him. Man, that's a great mark from Travis Ogden again. So, he's there on for his 3rd set shot of the day, has not kicked a goal yet. But I reckon that is just about taken mark of the day so far. That was brilliant. So, Ogden, a goal is necessary for their survival. Ogden, he's put it off the left. So he's now kicked 0-3. That's Travis Ogden, and he has kicked over half their points with his 3 behinds. As Warragul only have 5. So Blackwood from full back goes left. Takes a couple steps back. Moves the ball again. Down the line. Almost a mark taken by Parker. Not before. It went over the line. So another stoppage. Penny. He's been good today. In the midfield for Garfield. As the lights come on. It's getting a little bit dark down here at Nar Nar Goon. Of course, in the pink today for breast cancer awareness as a free kick is paid. Looking to move the ball quick. In fact, they will. So Yorney again leads out. And this is well in his range. Holds his head. And he is having an absolute field day, is Dermot Yorney. Looking for goal number 4 on Nick Visser, who is just covered in dirt. Always falling behind him in this game. So Yorney, arguably the best key forward in the comp. Sends it high and long. Won't make it though. Gets the goals. Won't cross over the line. So instead they're going to have to find a goal on the run. Bodies hit the floor. High free kick paid. And it's probably a little bit of a missed opportunity as Warragul regained possession. So it was the Michael Ablett who received the free kick. It will still remain within Nar Nar Goon's inside 50 area.
Yep. And just over again to Coral Inn. They lead Garfield by 61 points. Looking to chase down 5th position Warragul. But of course it's a top 6 finals. So Coral Inn are in it by 2 games against Bunyip. That kick sails forward. Only about 10 metres or so. And the Dusties have to show a clean pair of heels out of here. The kick by McGillivray was smothered. He persists, but that is a flying snap at goal, and it's through! From a difficult angle, pressure all over him, did not affect the kick whatsoever, and Nar Nar Goon have their 6th on the board. Innovation A1, it's 38-4 on the Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
Yeah, unfortunately, this isn't looking like the game that we may have expected. Warragul have just not shown up today. Well, at least in this first half, they really need an answer back, though. And nearly a whole half a footy without a major is just not good enough when you're in the finals race. So Beck was almost mowed down by Penny. He wasn't in the end, so mark taken by a Dusty. Looking around for options. Decides to go to left half forward. Punched. Gonna go out of bounds, and Penny just drops his man. And just a bit of back and forth now. JJ Penny is a ruthless man. One of the most watchable players in this league, in my opinion. So tapped out. To no one's advantage. The Dusties, what can they create here? That's another mark taken, this time coming from Staples. And this is his first touch or first disposal of the game. The toughest of angles. But a goal here would really get his side up and about. Kyle Staples takes his time. He's going to go the drop punt here. That's actually a good look. But no, goes through for another minor score. So it is now 38-6 on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. And the Warragul Industrials, if you're just joining us, are yet to score a goal. Whistle blown. Free kick going towards Nar Nar Goon.
It'll be Bettio.
Bettio received it. Gave it off by hands. Further down the field, a mark was taken.
Homfrey.
Yeah, intercepted.
And he turns it over. The Dusties mock it. Just inside the centre. Not a lot of movement ahead of him. Short ball. Staples able to clutch it. And he'll hope to rectify the situation. They link up by hand. McGarity with a one-on-one opportunity. He'll motor onto it. Just on his back. And now he'll clatter across the boundary line. Strong pressure by Aidan Pipicelli. As we sit about 25 metres out from the Dusties' goal. Yet to score a major, just the 6 behind. Slipped out of McGarity's grasp. Again, they speculate by hand. McGarity, this time barreled into, but illegally by Penny. And here is the opportunity that they were looking for. Mason McGarity.
Yeah, it's unlucky for Penny. McGarity went to go collect the ball from the ground and was already midway through a tackle, but yeah, there's nothing you can do there. So
has not had a goalless game this year, Mason McGarity, and he'll hope to change that right now. 32 points down, 6 behinds on the scoreboard. Need a major to maintain 5th position and hopefully get them underway, but he's missed to the right.
Directly in front as well, my goodness.
From fullback, Nar Nar Goon will bring it in again. It's 6-2, 38 to 7 behinds on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Just the one less scoring shot as Hughes looks for relative safety and finds it. At left half back, Penny bypassing. Instead, he'll give it to Pipicelli, who had plenty of space. And he'll relish it. And now kick to half forward. Thumped out of there. The defence able to hold up, and it's bolstered with their numbers multiplying. And they'll travel back. Only to go forward. It was dangerous and taken high. Nar Nar Goon, and now just opponents dissolving around them as he kicks towards goal and gets the bounce he was looking for. Trent Armour with a monumental effort. And Nar Nar Goon have their 7th on the board. And it's demoralising for sure, Bailey.
Yeah, Nar Nar Goon have just been polarising today. The way they move the ball so quickly from full back to full forward is just astounding. And Dermot Yorney is always there leading out if you need him as well. So Warragul be really demoralised after this, as you were saying, but nonetheless, kicks it out, half forward, pink players lurking, Chevron's win in this instance. So Mockett got it out successfully, screaming for the ball as Staples. Can he hit him though? Oh, that's a good. Reached out for the ball. That was nice from Kyle Staples, who had a set shot not too long ago from a much tougher angle. This one looks a little bit easier. He looks to be about maybe 30 or so out. So he'll go back. Kyle Staples looking for the first goal of the day for Warragul. It's been a very slow start against Nar Nar Goon, who've been unforgiving. Staples has just absolutely mucked that up. And there you go, McGarity, who was at the teeth of goals, was tackled quite easily. So there's still open opportunities here for Warragul. McGarity, so dangerous. Tackled almost immediately after receiving the footy was Kane Taylor, who's played VFL for Frankston and all the way from 2004 to 2006. Ball up, still awfully close to these goals. Trying to shrug them off was Kane Oldham. Once again, another ball up. Cairns nearly smacked it out there. But now Nar Nar Goon exit again. The defence today has just stood up perfectly. And in a game where they needed to prove themselves as contenders, Nar Nar Goon are doing that successfully, but he was hunted down. And that is what they just need. The Dusties was lurking. That Dusties player, and I believe it might be Commandeer. That was a great chase. Didn't have a hope, and now he's getting a little bit frustrated with himself. Is Luke Bettio, who would normally be number 20, number 25 today. So Mockett goes inside 50. Ball's loose. Off the ball. Back. Finds McGarity. Or Ogden, sorry. Who just went flying into the goalpost. There's a man down. Gives it off. McGarity scores. Is that what gets this side moving? Unselfish from Ogden as well, who's had 3 behind today. Could have gone for his first, but gave it off to McGarity. And that is a great sequence of play. Constant hustle, and that is what Warragul need to do continuously. Now, there was a man who hit the goalpost. I didn't see who that was, but he looked to be in some sort of pain. He's must be all right now, though, because he's off the field, or he's off the ground. But what a great sequence of play from Warragul, Dill.
Well, it certainly looked to be dangerous when he hand passed over the top, but nonetheless a goal. And they trail by 31 now on the totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Wandering ball forward. Ogden, beaten by his opponent that time. Smith offering the chase. Smith again, this time for Nar Nar Goon. Sets up the framework with the kick. Front on contact. And now Nar Nar Goon at the wing can have the instantaneous response. Numerous networks to select from. Yorney wasn't in the picture this time. Falls to ground level and crashing on through. Debenham. And a ball up. May seem like a 31-point game, but the energy that Warragul are playing with still feels as if it's just a 1-goal, 2-goal margin, and it can change in the blink of an eye. Another ball up. 55 out from Nar Nar Goon's goal. That hit out was only to the advantage of Bradley Homfrey, and we'll have a ball up as we look around the grounds for some updates over at Coralline, as we mentioned, 82-9 against Garfield. Kilcunda and Inverloch in a low-scoring affair, 9-10. Kubi Rupp lead Corumburra Bina by 17. Trickling along the ground and then engulfed by the tackle immediately. The Dusties' defence. And now tensions start to flare. The umpire needs to control it as soon as he can. You don't want to make any impetuous decisions. And a free kick has been pulled out. Jeez. Flirting with danger at the moment. And they'll have to find a way out. A one-on-one at the wing. Yorney at half forward, but playing the defensive role, of course, as the Dusties clutch the footy. They'll slow it down. You can hear the boos of the crowd as they concede some ground. Just collecting the disposals at the moment. Some swift footwork. And it swirls to the wing. Visser, who's worked his way up the ground, chips on shore to Oldham. He'll look to exploit the space in the middle, but he turns it over to Homfrey. And now the numbers are moving rapidly. And a beautiful kick to set up his teammate at centre half forward. Troy McDermott.
What was Luke Walker doing? He was just in the midfield and he was chucking up his hands, but didn't actually go for the footy. That wasn't too bad of a kick. I thought he could have easily ran for that, but that's just my opinion personally.
Troy McDermott. He's played VFL before. He has leads offered. He'll take it upon himself. I hope he tees it up to the square. It's bashed down. And now the defence able to find a teammate. Hesitant to go through the middle they are. So they venture towards the wing. Now sprinting away, blistering across the wing, but kicking it out on the full. Herbert. And from full back. Rather, right half back. Just tosses it up in the air. That's a nice mark by Brewster, who hasn't really had the biggest impact today, but we know we can, so we'll put a hold on that thought for the moment. Big set of knuckles by Nar Nar Goon. It fell short for Staples, who had a teammate nearby. Mockett piloting this time. As it shuffles forward, sliding in, Pipicelli, McGarrity, Ogden, all surround him. And the congestion amounts, and the umpire says, my ball. Just 15, 20 metres out from the Dusties' goal. Parker in the ruck this time. And Pipicelli out to half back. Well played by Gibson, who almost laid the strong tackle as well. And it should just slip away from them and does. 7-2-44 to 1-7-13. 24 minutes in the second quarter on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. High throw in. As the ruckman compete in the air. Nar Nar Goon with a mini win. But the Dusties can sort something out here. They had to be clean with it. He was taken high. And it'll be their free kick. Too far out to score is Beck. So he chisels it inside. Staples making his claim. Called to play on. Had Ogden nearby. But the chances quickly dissolve. And they'll have another one. It'll be on its way back. Just feel a bit of panic settling in from Nar Nar Goon there. Didn't need to kick it out on the full. Just rushed it. Smith, 55 out from goal. Ticking on 25 minutes. Now to peruse the playing field ahead of him. He puts it into the leading lanes. Over the back of the pack. They didn't have the Rovers. And Nar Nar Goon. Adventurous in the back line. And now they can settle down, but they elect to just play on. Blackwood across the wing. Over the top for Herman. And now in board. Who's forward? Yorney will be. But this time, it is Yorney. Able to swipe it away in the end. McGillivray. But there's still a fighting chance of the Goon. And Warragul will kick it out on the full, or is it bounced on the line?
So, out of bounds on the full will be the call to take it out. Sorry, I was trying to find who that was for a sec. Couldn't see the number clearly. And a free kick has been paid here. And there you go. Siren sounds. A bit of back and forth to end that second quarter. And Warragul had a little bit of momentum after that first goal, but it sort of just settled down after that as both teams go into half-time. And Nar Nar Goon are just commanding this game. They currently lead 44-13 on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard, and their defence and their mids have just controlled everything. Warragul finding it really hard to get a clean look inside 50. So we'll go to a quick break at half-time. We'll be back with you shortly for what we hope to be is a great second half of Saturday afternoon footy.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up.
Welcome back to Nar Nar Goon, where Nar Nar Goon do lead this one 7-2-44 to 1-7-13. Inaccuracy, as you can see, has clearly been the cost for the Dusties. They've had their chances, just the one less scoring shot, but plenty of set shots have been missed and just haven't been able to capitalise on the opportunities they've been given and that they've formed themselves, whereas Nar Nar Goon on the turnover and on the rebound, they've been exceptional. Bailey Allen.
Yeah, certainly have read the ball coming in beautifully, have the defenders, and then their movement, coming out of half-back has been even better. They've chosen their options really wisely, going through the centre and the wing as well, so yeah, it's been a great half for Nar Nar Goon, and as for Warragul, they're still in it, but need to start kicking a bit straighter. Your likes like Travis Ogden, he's kicked 3 behinds today. So your guys like that who have been active need to be a bit more accurate going towards goal deal.
Dermot Yorney leads all scorers with 3 straight. They've all been from a fair distance out, Baz.
Yeah, Dermot Yorney, he's been great today. Nick Visser, he's probably the wrong matchup for him. Doesn't have the height or the strength of Yorney, but Yorney's just played that to his advantage. He's kicked 4 today, hasn't he?
Just the 3 set shots.
I thought he kicked 4. Oh, well, there you go. But no, he's one of the best key forwards in our competition, so no surprise that he's put an absolute show out here at home today.
Well, it's the Dusties who are down by 31, but probably doesn't indicate on the scoreboard how well they've played. Their ball movement was definitely improved in the second quarter, and they did miss their chances, but 31 points, a little harsh to say. You think it should be 15, 20?
Yeah, I still reckon Nar Nar Goon's probably been the better side today. Their rebound off half-back's been excellent, but the scoreboard is harsh, doesn't read how the game's actually played out today.
Third quarter, nearly ready to go. Plenty of questions, and they still lead Coralin in 6th place by 4 points Bunyip in 7th, fighting for that top 6 shot. They're 2 points down, but they also trail Tooradin by 70 points at half-time. And Coralin are up by 98 points out at Garfield. So plenty of big margins today. This is one of the smaller margins. 31 points. And it can be overcome, but it's tasked with Warragul at the moment. McGarity needs to be lively. Ogden has to convert those goals. And out of the middle, they need to be extraordinary. Here we go. Nar Nar Goon. They get the first tap. And again, they just tap it on to the wing. Collecting it. And then just spilling it. O'Sullivan. Brewster. Bit of a muffled kick forward. His teammate slipped. And now the duress comes by. Slightly disrupted in the moment. And the kick subsequently falls out of bounds.
So, near centre wing here for this boundary throw-in. Ruckmans nominate themselves. And here we go. So, almost immediately wrapped up again was Shane Brewster. Played his 350th game last year. So they're able to get free after it seemed like there'd be another stoppage. Penny, who's been great today, should be high. Umpire didn't see it though. Was tapped out towards half forward, getting close to the boundary line. Able to dish it off by hand somehow. Recollects it. That's a good look. Oh no, it's not. He's kicked it out on the full. My goodness.
Armour kicked one today.
Yeah, Trent Armour. That was really poor kick. Played NAB League with the Gippy Power in 2016 and kicked 13 goals from 14 games with them. But yeah, that was not where you wanted. Tried to go the snap and kicked it right out of bounds on the full. So the Nar Nar Goon crowd getting awfully loud. McGarity, who's down in the back line, out of his habitat. Visser kicks it down to the wing. And it's marked by McGivelarate. He looks to centre it. In fact, he does, but that's a mongrel of a kick. And then it's dropped. Nar Nar Goon, the pressure's great, slams him into the floor. They somehow get out. So Debenham try to soccer it out of the contest. Armour still persisting. Gives it off by hands. Wants to go Penny. But goes further than that. And that's a great contested mark taken there. Well, Michael Ablett. Then he kicks it out to the Sando, who joined Warragul after a couple years at Bondura. Centre wing. Dribble kick. Should go back to Nar Nar Goon if they're quick enough. And it will. So off by hands, back over to centre wing on the opposite side. Near the broadcast. Centres it. Nar Nar Goon looking awfully dangerous here. And he's just got time on top of time. And maybe they go backwards to go forwards here. Do the Goon. So back over to where they started. Marking it is Jake Smith. He throws up his hands, pleading his teammates to lead. And then another kick out, another contest. So Warragul, they've got the numbers here, just need to move quickly. Penny! He is so impressive, that man. Advantage is called. Moving. So not a bad kick. Yorney trying to go back with the flight of the ball. And it was dropped by Troy McDermott. That was a great look on goal and couldn't get there in the end. But Nar Nar Goon certainly looked dangerous there. Penny would arguably be in the votes conversation today. He's laid a couple of vital tackles. So now Visser goes on a run for the Dusties. Kicks it out to space. Kicks it right back to Pipicelli. And he's been active to start off this third term. Came swooping in. Didn't pick it up, was Smith. So now DeSando. Just takes his time. Slows down the tempo of this game a little bit. Centers it back up. This time to Todd Beck, who darts his eyes around. Goes a little bit more off to the left to Walker. And now he can move. Finds an open mark. So this is some good footy here from Warragul. And just as I say that, they turn over once again. That is unfortunate for the Warragul Industrials Club.
To a band at the wing. Dean Kelly able to find his position, take the mark, but the kick a little errant. And now Warragul will repel and they find a mark inside 50. But set shots today have been their kryptonite. And they're given another one here. Need this goal. Jackson Mockett. Usually reliable by foot. I hope I haven't cursed him. 83 goals in 17 games during his under-13 season. Steady approach. And it is through for the first of the second half. And they're up and about at a 25-point margin now. 7-2 to 2-7.
And if you're a neutral fan watching today, you're counting your lucky stars. Warragul starting to get themselves back in this game. Nar Nar Goon. I don't think they've scored this quarter just yet. So Warragul get the first major of the third term. It'll be interesting to see whether they can keep it up. They've played a lot better starting off. It's been equal. So ball up. Pipicelli in the ruck for Nar Nar Goon, who are of course wearing the pink today. Quickly wrapped back up in a tackle was Blackwood. So in the ruck again. This time Hefford for Warragul. Goes to ground. There might be out here Nar Nar Goon. Little don't argue. Didn't have the footy. Was Blackwood. And once again, surrounds him in his arms. So Hefford taps it over the back of his head. Just need to get a handball out here. Play's turned a little bit stale after the goal from Warragul. Hefford accidentally hits it out to a Nar Nar Goon player. Penny was strong and took the mark out right in front. Directs his players to come forward. Will he mark it? No, not in this instance. They get back there in time. Walker handballed, but he had no idea his teammate was Michael Ablett. Now Ablett just pounces on top of the footy before another stoppage is called. But just a lack of communication there from Walker and Ablett.
Yeah, he was visibly annoyed there, you could see. Walker up in the air again into the patch of mud. Head first, taken high. DeSando, who's been quite productive today.
Yeah, I reckon to be in the conversation for maybe a vote.
But as we say that, he turns it over. And now to take advantage. McDermott, but he's missed.
Really lucky there, Warragul. That could have been dangerous.
And DeSando watches on in relief. As his teammates will bring in from full-back. Herbert. Short ball is cut off. And Yorney is always menacing around that. And again, off to his left and right. He had players, he had options. And the one man you wouldn't want kicking for goal will line up from 30 out. 25 points the margin, 31 points was the halftime lead. Dermot Yorney already has 3 straight. And right now he's just flexing his muscles. He's 4th on the board. And that margin reopens to 31 points.
And that's really disappointing for Warragul on a defensive standpoint. 2 really poor kicks there. Stuff that you should be getting even in training. So a real opportunity to capitalise has just been missed. And Dermot Yorney, who's such a talented key forward, goes back and slots it.
8-3 to 2-7 on the totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. 9 minutes in, or 8 minutes into the third quarter. Unbinded again, and a ball up. Mockett taking the ruck duties this time. His opponent had a bit of a run-up. Mockett, a major piece of it, and he's given away a free kick. Just undisciplined acts from the Dusties can cost them here. They would not want to concede another goal. Just centre half forward, Yorney in the area. Penny loitering. And a ball up.
So, Nar Nar Goon, we've just entered inside 50. Motr, that's a great punch. Great ruckman work. Didn't get out to any Dusty, however. So now they're going to have to stand strong in defence. Penny tries to shrug him off, but Ablett attacked and killed. So Walker at full back. Kicks it across. Now off by hands, Visser. Received it from McGivler-8. Bedio almost put a stop to that mark, but just wasn't enough to prevent. Now out at centre wing. They're moving a little bit faster than usual, the Dusties. Visser has run a great deal in this possession. Now inside 50, low angling kick. And kicks it out of bounds. Insufficient attempts? No. A call for a ball, or a boundary throw-in, I should say. So, at about half forward, Staples in the ruck against, I think it was Parker there. And it will go back out, but they're looking to re-enter here, the Dusties. But this is what Nar Nar Goon have done all day. Rebound, rebound, rebound. Goes through the middle. Here's Ablett, who's played a great third quarter down in defence and stops almost a certain goal. So, little chip kick from McGivler-8 down to Walker. And then it's marks by Oldham, who decides to go a little backwards. Not sure if I agree with the decision there. But here they go again. So, Visser, Dan Ablett. Wanted to go through the middle, but decides to go through the wing instead. Penny almost punched it out, but now Walker can move. Goes with the left, tries to centre it. Mockett nearly marks it and dives on top of the footy in desperation. Now they push it out. Herbert finds a suitor who goes on the run with the right. On the run, no. Goes for a behind.
They're 8th behind of the game, and they trail by 31 points. Now from full back. Now they all migrate at the wing. Just bashed out the back hatch. And now sent forward over the head of his desired target and out of bounds. Debenham just missed him on the kick there. Would have been a tough angle. But you feel that Warragul, they have to obviously kick the next goal, but they've had the entries. And again, the defence holding up. Parker took it by himself out of the ruck, turned it over. But another ball up. 25 out from the Dusties' goal. The ruckman again in the air. Parker brought it down to ground. Off the side to Smith. And he sees it over the line. The Dusties leading this quarter by a point. And the one goal that they have given up was from an inexcusable turnover as Parker spikes it forwards, gets some leverage on it. Debenham twisting, turning, twirling right into the tackle, and it's holding the ball. Well played, Blackwood. Takes the short option in O'Sullivan. He usually wears the number 1. Number 10 today, of course. Women's Day at Nar Nar Goon. On the customary left foot. The two teammates for the Dusties just fought in the air. Good combat. But they work it out. Measuring one up to the half-forward line. And Debenham was able to rove. And we'll have another ball in. About 65 out from the Dusties' goal. Nearly 15 minutes into the third quarter. Bit of a stalemate in the last couple of minutes. Plenty of stoppages. Tapped again, Parker. All diving on top of it. Ball in dispute. We'll have another ball up.
So, Nar Nar Goon trying to solidify themselves as a contender. Warragul looking to go into fourth. They're still in the finals picture, of course, as it's top six. So, they're in it with Coralyn, but trying to stay clear of sixth place. So, given off by hands. Dumps it off, and that's a great read there from Herbert, who plays on. Finds an option in Ogden, who's played a good game today despite his inaccuracy. So ball hits the deck. Who can get it? Nar Nar Goon again. It's been like that all day. The story of this game, you might say. In desperation, jucks it on the boot with Walker, who's had a good third term. He goes for a little bit of a run and stabs it into the chest of Debenham, who was probably the best player in that first quarter. Went a little bit quiet through the second. Massive kick inside 50, only for it to be picked off by Cairns. And a free kick is paid. He cannot believe it. So Ogden, who is yet to kick a goal, almost could have gone for it, but went the unselfish route and went Mason McGarity in the second quarter after taking a terrific mark. Can now look for his first goal of the game. He's played well today, Ogden. I'll give him that. But he needs to hit in a big way. Does he? He does. Umpire gives the all clear. Travis Ogden kicks his first major of the day. And Warragul are still saying they're not out of this. Travis Ogden.
Well, they're not, Baz. 25 points the margin again.
I would almost argue that Warragul have actually won this quarter.
Well, they have on the scoreboard as well by 7 points. And finally, they're able to convert on the scoreboard. Just 1 goal to half-time, 2 goals in this quarter. They've actually equalled their tally in this quarter of what they were at half-time. Beck to Beck. Todd to Bailey. And Bailey has his teammate Herbert over the top, who lowers the eyes. Falls straight in the lap of the defence for Nar Nar Goon. Coming up to the ball, Homfray. Matthew Homfray. Just over his head now. 2-on-2. Again, the numbers duplicate around the footy, and it's to the advantage of Nar Nar Goon, but was unable to stay in play. Approaching the 18-minute mark of the third quarter, so you'd think there'd still be about 6 or 7 minutes to play. Maybe 5. 3 goals kicked in this quarter, 2 for Warragul and 1 for the Goon. Punched forward, falling to deck and receiving a free kick will be Nar Nar Goon. And in particular, Herman, who's been industrious today. Now, the deepest forward at the moment is Purcell, and he'll be around this footy. Here he is, Purcell, unable to juggle it, and a free kick going the way of the Goon regardless of what occurred. It'll be Yorney. It will be Dermot Yorney, who's already kicked 4 goals straight. And with a 25-point lead at the moment, which feels like a 10 to 15-point lead, he'd love to kick this straight through the middle. It's a high arcing kick. It won't have the distance, but his teammates scale the pack almost off the ground, and now they're double the score of the Dusties. Playing on quickly. McGarity had to make do, and he was swift out of there. This is where they have struggled. McGillivray refrained himself from giving it off to the goal square. Instead, played it wide for Brewster, who had a strong aerial presence just there. McGarity at the wing. A few others as well. They'll have to surround this football. Held back. The teammate of Hughes who took the mark. Centre half back now. And they'll begin discussions through the middle. Trigg. Hand passed it off to his teammate, who put a high kick in the forward line. And Yorney gobbled it up.
He's the number one threat on the ground at the moment. Dermot Yorney just has the ball on the string, comes right back to him.
Tremendous effort in the air. He's been tremendous by foot. It's been his year to thrive. And he has today with 4 against his name, looking to make it 5. The home crowd salutes, and Dermot Yorney has 5 against his name, as Nar Nar Goon take a 32-point lead.
And I believe Dermot Yorney is actually defeating Warragul Industrials at the moment. He's beating them by 4 points. He's kicked 5, which is 30 to Warragul's 26. So that just proves how vital he has been to this Nar Nar Goon performance today. He's just such a pivotal key forward in the West Gippsland Football League, and he'll be a name for many years to come. So Warragul now down by 31. A win getting increasingly unlikely for them. Walker jukes out his opponent and moves to the wing. They once again slow things down. McGivilleray, he's running through the middle. He wants the footy badly, but won't get selected as the choice. Mockets flew over the top, but no mark was taken. So they move it inside 50. Ducked his head for the traffic coming through, but was able to take it regardless, was Shane Brewster. He plays on, won't go for the set shot. Low kick and hit someone perfectly on the chest. Just trying to see the number there. So tough angle. Maybe about 40 or 35 out. This to reduce it back to 25 points. And no, we'll go across the face of goal. I believe that was Kane Taylor on that miss there.
The Goon from fullback. 22, nearly 23 minutes into the third quarter. The numbers move towards the wing, which is where he elected to kick it. It's extremely wide. And in fact, Bradley Homfray did well to prevent it from being out in the full. 31 points the margin, which it has been many times today. Waiting at the back of the pack, able to clean up the footy. The midfield for Nar Nar Goon. Penny. Hand pass across to his teammate who sends it up in the air. Parked underneath. Bailey Beck. The short option on in Debenham. Calls from every angle. And at a closer proximity had Herbert, who lofts one up in the air. Parker necessarily able to intervene and then just dismiss his opponents. The kick also stayed in bounds. Individual effort by Flynn Parker.
Well, that was just rude. Oh, my goodness. Shrugged him off.
High throw in. Slipping down to ground, both Bruckman really. Noy did well to get a foot to it. To centre half forward, it just eluded the forward line. And the Dusties fall to ground. Hughes in the thick of it. And another ball up. 30 out from the Dusties' goal. Need one entering the final change, and they might just get it. Debenham stamps his authority. And it's back to 25. Late in the quarter, Michael Debenham kicks his first. And it's 9-4 to 4-9. Equal amount of scoring shots, Bailey.
And a late goal like that can really give you a lot of momentum going into the final term. So, Warragul just trying their absolute best to get it done today. Can't be long left at all. And we'll have another ball up in the centre circle. Centre square, I should say. So kicked out in the pack. Snaps it around the body to space. Try to find DeSando there. That should be high. In fact, it is. So Parker has just 1 minute left in this third term. There's Parker, who shrugged an opponent off before like a bug. Kicks it off to the wing. Ogden hits the deck. This would be really good for Nar Nar Goon if they can get a last-minute goal. Yorney pushing the back. And it was most definitely a free kick. But he certainly played for it, did Yorney. As Visser is slow to get up. Understandably as well. So Yorney might have a kick after the siren here. In the third quarter. This to put it back up to 31 points. Yorney looking for number 6 today. It's not an unusual amount for him at all. Off the right. You betcha. Number 6 for Dermot Yorney. An absolute superstar for the Goon. And if you stick around for the post-game show after the fourth quarter, he might just be in our votes conversation. And when I mean might, I mean most definitely. He has been terrific today, has Yorney. You'd expect nothing less.
10 goals as a side. 6 for Dermot Yorney. And they're just riding his coattails at the moment. A 31-point lead at three-quarter time. It's a costly goal for the Dusties to give up as the siren sounds. And a 31-point lead. And Nar Nar Goon have just been able to stave off every effort that has come at them by the Dusties. Goal after goal, returning the fight. Warragul aren't out of it. They're down by 31 at three-quarter time. They'll regroup. Their coach will give them a big speech. And they'll have to find some holes in this Nar Nar Goon defence. It's been a brilliant display, and we'll see how the fourth quarter takes shape after this quick break.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard. Digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging.
Nar Nar Goon lead it by 31 points entering the final break, or the final quarter after the final break. And they've just been able to answer everything that has been thrown their way. 4 goals, 9 for Warragul, just one scoring shot, the difference. But they trail it by 31. Bailey Allen still alongside me. Dermot Yorney's kicked 6 goals, and he is a colossus.
Yeah, like I mentioned at some point in the third quarter, he actually was outscoring Warragul Industrials. In fact, he still is. He's leading them by 3 points. He's kicking a total of 36 points. Not a single miss today. 6 straight. And if Warragul don't get a hurry on early on in this final term, then I'd be pretty quick to count them out. But no, Dermot Yorney. Look, even if someone else was to have a great performance in this third quarter, he'd probably still be up there in my votes.
Don't give it away too early, Baz, but
No.
a 31-point deficit for Warragul. Quite a relaxed three-quarter time speech. I was expecting there to be some loud voices in there, but we'll see what they can muster. At the moment, they've endured 6 goals from Dermot Yorney, as we mentioned. Just 4 other goal kickers alongside Yorney early in the first quarter. Humphrey and Purcell on the board. Trent Armour was able to kick one in the second. And since then, they've just hit Yorney lace out. And he hasn't missed. He had one set shot rushed through. Not sure if the behind went against his name. And now we wait for the men in green to hold the ball up and signal the final quarter to be underway. The Dusties need to kick 5 goals and maybe a little more to overcome Nar Nar Goon, who won't relent, and they don't. Straight out of the middle, they'll attack forward. Dangerous hand pass, and then they branch out to the wing. Penny has the speed, but he also has the coverage, and he's using his body. Was it to great effect? It was. And now he takes off on the left. Heaves the kick forward. Needs a mark. Yorney! Called to play on. And, well, for the fans, disappointingly, called to play on.
I'm spewing we can't put that in our conversation for Mark of the Day.
Almost able to leap at it. Off the carpet. We know how quickly this back line can transform into the Goons forward line. Have to hold off. The tap to the advantage. It's a high ball. It's sailing through for a major. Definitely amongst the best of today. It disappeared into the sky and fell down right through the big sticks.
Did we get who that was?
Trent Armour for his second of the day. And we won't say the game is beyond doubt for the Dusties, but it's definitely a dagger in their chest early on. Dangerous times. Nar Nar Goon look as ominous as ever. But out of the middle, Gibson. It's out in front of Ogden. And again, it just evaded him, keeping it alive. They straddled the line. They are unable to keep it in. So a throw in. About 35 out from the Dusties' goal. Parker. Mockett took it out of the ruck himself. Bit of a turbulent hand pass. No one could really leverage off of it. And escorting it out of bounds. Nar Nar Goon. Another high throw in. Picking up the crumbs. To no avail, or was it? It's socked through. There's the instant response. How about that from Luke Walker? Sue! The World Cup in December is making his case. And it's back to 31 points. 11-4-70 to 5-9-39. But it's 3 minutes past. And they still have this 31-point mountain to climb.
So, ball up. We've had 2 goal of the day contenders in about maybe 2 minutes. So, ball bounces, now entering inside. Nar Nar Goon's inside 50. Desperate to get out. They're just going to have to smack it on the boot. Here's JJ Penny again, the Panther. And goes over the boundary line. But I would make the argument, Dill, that JJ Penny is just about the most entertaining player to watch in West Gippsland. He just hunts the ball relentlessly, and he's so fun and so entertaining to watch. And
certainly up there.
yeah, well, I do like watching Yorney as well. Yorney always has a great lead. Stewie Scanlon's fun. McCaffer, he's a brilliant midfielder as well, but he's certainly up there with the best. JJ Penny for Nar Nar Goon, number 13. So Walker mowed down in a tackle. Pushed off the ball was Cairns. Now back with Warragul, Debenham takes it over the line after a tackle from Parker. So centre wing, boundary throw in. Trigg. And I believe it's Hefford in the ruck. So we'll do it again. This time just a regular ball up. Centre wing once again. Hefford wins the hit out over Trigg. Trying to make his way through. Could be into correct disposal. Umpire says my ball. So resume hostilities. Trigg taps it over. Penny wants the footy. Won't get it. Wrapped up in a tackle by Noy. Was a Dusty. So just play calming down a little bit after two highly entertaining goals. Once again, there's Hefford who easily wins it. Trigg was waiting on the outside. Holding the ball is the call. So Warragul will look to move down once again, using that slow tempo. They don't have much time here. Down by 31 points. Penny wasn't quick enough for DeSando. He's got Oldham leading in front. Decides to use that option, but the kick was poor and was punched out easily by Hughes, the assistant coach, player assistant coach. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
Been eventful today, Brent Hughes.
So, Dill. So Penny once again wraps up his opponent, DeSando.
Yeah, I was going to say alongside Flynn Parker.
Yeah,
in the defence.
Flynn Parker's had a good game. He most notable highlight was probably Shrug down there on the wing near the club rooms. So Nar Nar Goon moving quickly again. There's a man open in 50. Was pushed off the ball. Umpire calls play on. Taken the ground. And there'll be a ball up. So I think that was Armour taken down there. So Bettio nominates himself for the ruck. Not in his usual position, in this instance against Hefford. They get it out somehow, the Dusties, but they're not out of the woods just yet. A lot of pink surrounding the football. Whistle blown for a stoppage. So you just feel as if another Nar Nar Goon goal is looming here. Bettio punched out towards goal. There was a Dusty there in the ends, though. Didn't have the length to come back and bring the ball down. Once again, another stoppage as it starting to come outside of Nar Nar Goon's 50 a little bit. Noy in the ruck, leaps over and taps it out. A lot of stoppages happening in this fourth quarter, which is not what Warragul wants at all.
Nearly on 8 minutes into this final quarter. Not ideal for the Dusties. Now they can find a way out. Again, Noy puts it forward. Had to bounce obligingly. Wasn't able to, and we'll have a ball up. A little flat for Warragul now. They kicked that previous goal. It's the last 3-4 minutes. Just been locked in this. Inside 50, out of the pack. It's hit the post. But it's just been locked away inside the Goons forward line. They need to repel to the Dusties. And they can here. Unguarded in the back line. McGarity at half back. His numbers coming towards him. Around the other side he does. He'll go to switch. Oldham. Now fullback McGillivray. 50 metres to half back. And now they can hand pass and work something out. Shuffling through the options. Finally found one. Receiving it back. And now in full acceleration is Herbert into the forward pocket. Visser, who's been more of a backman today can play a prominent forward line. He just missed his elected target, but the crumb was there for the taking. And he's just missed to the near side. Or is it out in the full? Looks to be out on the full. They'll converse with each other, the umpire and the goal umpire. But the opportunity goes begging. And it will be out on the full. And the Goon to put it back into play, and they do. It's extremely wide. Parker shoved his opponent off the ball. Legally in the end. Down to the wing. It's turned over the Dusties. Beck was in board. Brewster able to rope it in and then turn and deliver inside 50 to Visser, who can ignite something here for the Dusties. Over 10 minutes in, still that 32-point margin. It's just been that 26 to 32 point gap that they haven't been able to climb. But Nick Visser, straight in front, 45 metres out, has done exactly that. Converts the major. The sirens blare and the Dusties trail it by 26. Crucial it was, Bailey.
Yeah, well, if they've got any chance, it's now. If they need to act at any time, it's now. And Visser, he's going to come off for Luke Smith. So, big sequence of play coming up. 26 points the difference. Triggers thrown around like a rag doll. And a stoppage is called. Brewster had possession of the ball before it's put into a tackle. The Trig with the right hand. Spun into a tackle was Beck. Once again, Trig, who's been good in this last quarter, kicks it out to a Dusty. Goes back towards the centre. Debenham with the one-handed mark. They need to move now here. The Dusties running against the flight of the ball. Todd Beck. Does he decide to play on here? He looks restless, so you'd think he would. Doesn't have the confidence and hits up Travis Ogden, who's probably been one of Warragul's best players today. Arguably the best. He's certainly in the conversation. So he can line up a kick from about 40 out. This would be huge. It would reduce the lead to 20. Ogden goes through. Things are heating up here in Nar Nar Goon. It is certainly getting interesting now as Ogden reduces the lead.
This is the first time they've been able to close within 20 since the first half. Yes, yeah. Even the first quarter. Well, now we're to 12 minutes and 45 seconds into this last. A 20-point margin. The Dusties with 2 goals on the trot. They tangle in the air. The midfielders didn't have the tools to get themselves clear and will have a ball up. And if they do kick the next, you just feel that the momentum will swing their way. Nar Nar Goon's defence has been so prominent all day. McGarity in the midfield. An expedition forward. But in the hole, Jake Blackwood. Him and Sam working in tandem on that defensive line. It's fashionable service for Herman, who lugs one across the line, and the mark is taken, and off in an instant, checking his kick inside 50. It just bounced, wasn't able to hit the targets. Another tackle laid, and a ball up, or a ball in. 45 out from the Goons' goal. You just feel the next goal is probably or is the most important of the day. Can either be a 26-point margin. It might be too difficult for the Dusties to overcome, or they can cut it to 14. Homfray, free kick, given the way of the Dusties. Fortunes are falling with them at the moment. In the back line. Able to use each other as a reference this time. It's Herbert with the long sleeves. Can identify a teammate in Smith, who plays on, out wide. A one-on-one in the air. Strong defence from Cairns. Still loping after it was Taylor. And it's over the line. Nearly 15 minutes in. Final quarter on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Gloomy weather, or gloomy skies, but it's holding off at the moment, the rain, and it's giving the Goon another chance, maybe a window of opportunity for Noy, who pierced his way through and he was taken high. Advantage won't be paid. It'll be a free kick going to Nar Nar Goon. Too far out to score, Trent Noy. He centres it to the hot spot. Needs a flyer and Yordi! And when the moment arrives, you wouldn't doubt him. Dermot Yorney has kicked 6 goals today for his 7th, and maybe to seal the deal. His most important yet. And every step he's taken today has led to glory for Dermot Yorney. And the Goon lead it by 26 late in the 4th quarter.
That probably puts it out of reach. It's been a great 4th quarter performance. But Dermot Yorney kicking his 7th. I find it hard to imagine the Warragul win now. But football, it's an interesting game. Is there any fight left in the dying minutes of this 4th quarter? Tapped out of the ruck. Nar Nar Goon get it instantly back. Armour goes for a run. Booming right kick. Here's Yorney again. Won't get it in this instance, however. So moving through's Herbert. Loves to go to this side. DeSando, who's had a pretty good game today. Kicks it further out. Had to drop for the free kick. That's a good mark taken there by Kane Taylor. Got Debenham screaming. Receives his wish. And Debenham continues to move. Visser. It was a great leap at the ball, but just wasn't quite tall enough as he was pushed under it by a Goon player. So boundary throw in. Bodies hit the deck. Awfully muddy here at Nar Nar Goon today. So can Nar Nar Goon definitely put the nail in the coffin? I reckon they've already done it. But one more will definitely end it. So Trigg over to Bettio. Polarising tackle by a Dusty's player who's not getting up at the moment. He is still... He's not moving. That's not good at all.
I think it's Bailey Beck. Might be wrong, though.
He's not moving at all. That's not great. Penny brought to ground. Armour turned it over.
It's Will Gibson.
Slides in the mud, and Will Gibson is now turning over, which is good. A good sign. But, yeah, that's bad news. So, tapped out of the ruck by Parker. Armour spins through traffic, holding the ball. Advantage paid. Here come the Dusties. Oh, Visser once again too short as the ball goes right back to Nar Nar Goon. That's unfortunate there. So, out back across towards the wing. Blackwood. Didn't know whether to go for it or not. Dusty's just trying to get the ball out by all means. But it may be too little too late.
Still 65 out from the Dusties' goal. And you can now see the rain beginning to fall. 18 minutes in, the last quarter on your Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Parker gives away the free kick. His tackle was too aggressive. And a quick hand pass, telling his teammates to provide a lead. Dropped in the end. Out the back door. Still around the footy. It's a high floater. Stuck in an enclosure, and McGarity falls on the back of a defender, able to force the throw in and force the issue out of bounds. Still 20 out from the Dusties' goal. Times are desperate. Hits the head of Visser. Smith rode out the tackle, and in defence. Undisturbed now, the kick just fell short. Players slipping over everywhere. Definitely a greasy pitch. And he pitches that idea up in the air. Just experimenting with the kick, and Bailey Beck able to mark for the Dusties through the centre of the ground. Walker on the left. It was a perilous kick again. And Cairns chops it off to centre half forward. Homfrey, the lights are flickering everywhere now for Nar Nar Goon. Inside 50, and the mark taken. Can bite some time off the clock. Homfrey, it was Mitchell, and now Bradley. Late in this last quarter, into time on, 21 minutes in, 50 metres out, acute angle, Bradley Homfrey. In he comes, he struck it well, distance-wise. Accuracy, the only issue, and it's out on the full. And the umpire advises them to clear out again. Seem to be flirting with danger today. Herbert won't be able to track it down. It escapes from him, and we'll have another throw in.
So, Nar Nar Goon have pulled off a brave win today, despite many attempts at a comeback for Warragul. They're going to pull it out. So, here comes Armour, dribbles across. Oh, has that made it? Oh my God, it has! Trent Armour has dribbled it across the goal line, and it's gone through. That is just about the best you'll see. Trent Armour now has 2 contenders for goal of the day. From the boundary line, no momentum, dribbles through. Goodness gracious me. How impressive is that? Puts the cherry on the cake for Nar Nar Goon in what has been a great day in the pink. Beck still trying his absolute hardest, the perseverance.
23 minutes in to the last quarter. Disentangled for a moment, dumped into the turf. They're all sprawled out and behind play. Braden Hefford seems to be holding his leg, just labouring it, nursing the football at the moment. And Nar Nar Goon, another option almost hit. Homfrey, just astern of his opponent who collected the ball. And now they chain up their handballs to the wing. There was space, only for a brief moment. Had to eject the kick. Near half forward, not beyond. Searching kick. Definitely demanded a lot from Beck, who was taken high, but play continues. A one-on-one. Out wide. Well done by the Dusty player. Over to Beck. Bailey Beck. Into the middle. Numbers on the outer side are with the Dusties. Walker, who's kicked the 1 goal today. On the left. Distributing to half forward. Able to find Oldham, who turns and in an instant found Visser. Wasn't paid the free kick. Penny taken to ground. Didn't dispose of it, so it's holding the ball. Mason McGarity.
That's Ogden, I believe. Might be McGarity.
Nearly 25 minutes in, looking for a late goal. And again, it's offline. It was Ogden. So that's his 4th behind of the day.
It's been awfully inaccurate, but he's got a lot of the footy.
7-10-52 for the Dusties. And Nar Nar Goon at the moment lead it by 31 points. They're 13-5-83. They'll run out the last minutes of this game. Nearly 25 and a half minutes through. And from full back to the wing. And they've just been able to directly hit their targets today. Even in these wet conditions. Not an issue for them. Disposal efficiency. And an excellent lead on the end of it, finding a channel to lead into. Didn't quite take the mark. Propping up for another disposal. Beck dribbling along the ground. Noy stole it away. As they edge closer to the 50, centering ball. And it's marked by Debenham, who will switch it. It was a hurried kick, and he turned it over. Pipicelli hangs it up in the air, and in the end, it was marked by a teammate, surprisingly. Homfrey was definitely the most substantial target. He went a little deeper, engaging with Yorney. It floated at the bottom. It's taken away by Herbert, who can hold his head high today. Taylor, left half back. Comes back through the centre for Commodore. But that's the siren. 27-minute quarter. And what a day it was for Nar Nar Goon. It was an unerring day. They were able to kick majors. They were able to ward off any efforts that came their way. And they have taken down the 5th-placed Warragul Industrials side, who will now be even with Coralyn on the ladder. It was 7-10-52 to the Dusties to 13-5-83. And Nar Nar Goon with another win on the board, Bailey Allen.
Yeah, it was a really complete performance from Nar Nar Goon. There wasn't much to fault them on at all. At the end of the day, Warragul were just too predictable, and when they were going inside 50, the turnovers, especially in the first half, were too costly. So, yeah, Nar Nar Goon, great games today. I honestly couldn't name a single player that played bad for them today.
Into our post-game show. We'll hold off on the votes for the moment, but just general thoughts. We'll get some around-the-ground scores. But just your general thoughts, Baz.
Warragul probably shouldn't be worried about that loss. They beat Phillip Island only 3 weeks ago, who have been the benchmark for this competition for a couple years now. I know that title probably belongs to Tooradin now, but yeah, it's not a loss to be worried about. Maybe the inaccuracy they need to work on during training. And as for Nar Nar Goon, they're continuing on with their nice season. They'll certainly make finals and might even make some noise as well. Of course, they got so close to that grand final appearance in 2018, lost to Kui Rupp, and then lost by 99 points to Phillip Island in that year. But yeah, the Goon have been a very proud club over the past 15 years or so. And they know how to beat up on the below-average, mediocre sides of the comp, but when it comes to the big boys in Phillip Island and Inverloch Kongwak, they haven't been able to complete that test successfully. So hopefully this Warragul game, who the Dusties, to their credit, have been good this season, hopefully that gives them a bit of confidence going against some of the better sides, Nar Nar Goon.
Fused by King G, mark of the day. A couple notable marks, in my opinion. The contested mark by Travis Ogden in the second quarter. He wasn't able to finish the sequence, but that is my mark of the day.
My mark of the day would be, Travis Ogden as well. He was down here in this little pocket there when it was down there, 450. Warragul hadn't scored a goal yet, and he marked it. He flew into the goalpost as well with another teammate, and then, unselfishly gave it off to McGarity, who slotted it through. But, the courage he had with that mark was terrific, and that would be my mark of the day.
King G, Trade Comfort Max, goal of the day. And there's two contenders, and they're both by the same person. Trent Armour, with individual brilliance from either end. Take your pick, Baz.
I'm going to do the one I called the dribble up from the tight angle. That is, I haven't been calling West Gippsland for too long, but that's up there with the best goals I've seen. Trent Armour really impressed me with that slot.
And now to our votes, which probably are difficult to not argue over, but just distinguish who's the one vote, the two vote, and the three vote. Who's your first vote going to?
There's a lot of names in the mix for one vote. You had Penny, you had Parker, DeSando for Warragul was very good, but considering how he was playing through the first three terms and then how he played in that last quarter, I've got to give it to Trent Armour. He was really good in the midfield for Nar Nar Goon today. Played sort of a Degoe role who sits around in the midfield but can also bang a couple of goals as well. So Trent Armour would get my vote.
I'll go with Flynn Parker, Baz, just to be a little different for you. He had plenty of 1%ers today. Might not have damaged on the scoreboard, but when he's deep in defence, able to hold his head up and hold the team up. I mean, they kicked 7 goals, 10, the Industrials, which basically typifies, or it also symbolises how strong the Nar Nar Goon defence was, and Flynn Parker was a part of that, alongside honourable mention to Brent Hughes, who we mentioned in that last quarter. So your two votes.
It might be a controversial pick. Had a really poor day in front of goal, but other than that, I thought he played a brilliant game. Travis Ogden was really courageous getting around the footy. Was obviously down in his forward 50 for most of the game, but found a lot of the Sharon and was really brave with his choices as well, and unselfish as well. Gave away a certain goal to Mason McGarity, and then kicked one himself in that third or fourth quarter as well. So Travis Ogden was really good today.
I'll go with Jeconiah Penny. He was lively. He was quite eventful in every term, really. There was an effort that was praised by his teammates. You'd notice them coming over to him, patting him on the head, and plenty of one-on-one contests, especially out on this wing on the near side where he prevailed and allowed opportunities up forward, which they did kick a couple of goals off. And the man of the match, I think, undoubtedly will be, Baz.
We've already got the same. We both know it. Dermot Yorney kicks 7. How can you go past that? 7 goals for Dermot Yorney in a performance that has become somewhat ordinary for him. He's just such a talent. And, it's really hard to go past him for the 3 votes. No one really else came close to him for me.
That'll do it for this week. Next week we'll be out at Kilcunda Bass, and they'll take on Bunyip. Kilcunda, obviously, today were against Inverloch. They led it early in the first quarter. Haven't had a score update since. And I've just found it. They are trailing by 61 points deep in the fourth quarter as we continue to move across the competition. Kui Rupp have defeated Corumbarabina by 36 points. Turadin Dalmore defeated Bunyip. And over at Coralin, they have dismantled Garfield. Yet to find a Daleston Phillip Island score. But Kilcunda Bass versus Bunyip will be the match of the round, sponsored by Fairhaven Homes and proudly brought to you by Totally Workwear Gippsland. Of course, the new store in Pakenham Pakenham. We hope you enjoyed today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend. Take it easy.